Welcome back to another episode. Happy Tuesday, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Welcome, everybody. Rudy, my friend, how are you? Thank you for being here tonight with us.
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me again. Always a pleasure.
Welcome. Guys, we have a lot to talk about tonight. A lot. And then, like we did last week, we have the watch party for the Acolyte behind the scenes. Rudy's already very excited for tonight's episode. He says it's going to be a banger, according to what he's been watching and hearing and seeing. So let's get started, guys. Let's say hello to the chat, and then we'll get right into it because, like I said, there's a lot, and then we're trying to finish before 9:00, so we could all watch the show together. We got Babo in the house. Welcome, my friend.
How you doing?
Says welcome, Acolyte fans and haters. Hit that like on the way in. Yes, guys, there's 13 of you guys in here right now. Please hit that like button if you don't mind. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's see who else is in the house. We got Luch in the house. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing.
Welcome. He says, what up, my very positive Jazz Inc. Yes, guys, we got a lot of Jazz Inc. tonight. Jazz Inc. 89 Batman collectors. Hold on to this guy. Unbelievable. Welcome. We got Punisher. Welcome, my friend.
I'm doing.
Thank you for being here. We have, let's see, who else is in the house? We got Figment in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for
I'm doing.
Welcome. We got Ernesto in the house. Welcome. How are you, my
doing.
Welcome. Hello, all ready for Acolyte Madness? I think Rudy is.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, it's just what I was hearing. The rumors are this episode is gonna be special.
It's caca. Don't be shy. Oh man, this is getting my rye ready. We got Derek in the house. Welcome, my friend.
I'm doing.
Welcome. We got Thule in the house, right on time. Look at you.
I'm doing.
Welcome. Yes, guys, hit that like button if you don't mind. There's 16 of you guys in here. Welcome, everybody. We got the Thor in the house. Welcome.
I'm doing.
Being here, you made it. We got, let's see who else. We got Bob. Is Fab shadow banning me or has shadow banning me? Oh man. We got Matt Platten in the house. Welcome, my friend.
I'm doing.
Being here. Welcome. Late to your own party. No, we had to discuss topics, and we had to, make sure everything's cleared with YouTube so we don't get red flagged.
We don't get canceled, right?
Yeah, we don't get demonetized. We got Nate here in the house. Welcome, my friend.
Doing.
Welcome to us. Hello there. Why are we waiting? We were waiting for Rudy. He was deciding whether he wanted to still keep collecting or not. We got Jeff in the house. Welcome, my friend.
Doing.
Rudy, how do you like my new see behind me?
I see it. Trust me, I see it.
Oh yeah.
And I've been watching on Toys for Kiddles because it's cheaper than on Sideshow by a decent amount.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been keeping an eye on it just to make
right.
my move too.
That's right. Got it, guys. ToysForKiddles.com. Use coupon code FabsFigures, and you get a nice 50 Hong Kong dollar discount.
Right.
That's why Rudy's been able to buy all his figures at that discount. Look behind him. That's all Toys for Kiddles back there.
That's all
Imagine. Except One Away's toys. Toys for Kiddles doesn't bother.
Oh my! One Away Toys. I don't even think it exists anymore. I think they're out of business. They're gone.
You bought the last one.
Drop anything. That's right.
You bought the last one. We got Paul in the house. Welcome, my friend.
I'm doing.
Jeff. This guy right here. He's buying up all of the figures. So be careful. If you need something, buy it before he gets his hands on it because it'll be gone. We got Joker J in the house. Welcome, my friend. We're about to prove Joker J wrong in a little bit. It was Rudy brought you up, Joker J. So we're gonna
a positive. It wasn't a negative. Don't make it sound bad.
No, it's not bad. We're gonna Jazz Inc you tonight, Joker J. Imagine. Oh my god. We got Eric in the house. Welcome, my friend. Guys, there's 27 of you guys in it. Please hit that like button if you don't mind. I appreciate you guys for being here, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see who else is in the house before we get started. And then, oh, here we go. We got Nathan in the house. Welcome, my friend.
Doing.
Hot Toys better plan on it making a whole lot of Acolyte figures. They better go the limited 2,000 route if they ever even want to sell them. See, that's a good point, Nathan. That's a very good point. The thing is, and we're going to get into this. I don't want to get into it now. Hold that thought. Remind me again in a few minutes, because this is very important that you're bringing this up. Bob says, Rudy, if you're getting into statues, I'll take some of your third parties.
you have to fight Fabs for it. He's already got dibs on the collection. He said, when you go, I'm coming over.
I said, yeah. I said, whenever you're ready to quit, I said, I'll take some. Shout out to Hot Toys Nightmare with the killer. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Wait a minute. Great 2-part collection. If you haven't checked it out, guys, Nightmare, type in your channel link so they could check out your collection. So people understand that people who watch me and follow me and support me are actual collectors that collect, and they don't just hang out in the Hot Toys community being pests. We got Big Dog in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Nice to see you.
I'm doing.
Let's see who else is in the house. Fabs, do you think J&D Winter is worth getting? I couldn't tell you. I would never buy a statue myself. So I know they look great. They look beautiful. The size, the scale, all that stuff. I would never be able to tell you about a statue because I wouldn't even know what to expect. And the fact that I've never purchased a statue, even though the Prime 1 statues to me are the best type of statues, at least, my opinion, in the market. And so the fact that I never went out of my way to just buy one, again, just because of my own reasons, I don't know that I could be like, oh yeah, you should, you know what I mean? Like, it's not something that I would even be able to guide anyone. What about you, Rudy? How do you feel about statues?
No, I'm out of it. Like I had a couple of pieces that I bought and just
like statues, like J&D,
no, older. Like I bought like way in the past. I got the Sideshow, like Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, okay. Premium format stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a maquette for that. The robot from Avatar, the thing. I got that. That was probably one of my most expensive pieces that I've gotten to date. And in hand, look, it looks impressive, but it takes up a lot of space, a lot of real estate. And I like the detail and the posability on the 6 scale stuff. So I got out of that pretty quick.
Jeff, I am with you on that. I am with you.
It's possible.
No. And we're gonna. I mean, obviously, yes. Anything's possible. Anything.
No. I mean, it's possible that we get none. I agree with him.
Oh, okay. No, I was gonna say. Well, because with Hot Toys, that's the thing. Anything's possible at all times. Even when we think, oh, they're not gonna make that, they'll make something. Right. The fact that they didn't make Miss Marvel is where I go back to. It's like, how was she really that terrible of a character that they didn't even bother?
Like, I was surprised because that show, I think it was one of their lower rated shows, but it was actually, I told you when we were watching with my wife, we watched the first episode. We're like, it's a little teeny, and then it got good, and we were like, oh. And then she shows up in a movie. I thought they would make her.
Exactly where I was going. But even so, even if the show sucked, she's still coming as part of a bigger picture, right? Mm-hmm. She's going to be included in future films, future movies, big movies, Avenger movies, right? She was already in the, what was that movie? The Marvels, right? The Marvels. Right. So she went from her show to get introduced, right? To be put into the movie. And still nothing. And she's still going to be a character in the MCU, period. So why wouldn't they bother? So that's what I always go back.
Honestly, the Marvels, the end credits for that were probably the most exciting thing, including that moment where you see her meet Kate Bishop. and they're kind of talking Young Avengers, right?
Correct.
So it's a setup for that, so that's coming down the line.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what's like weird about that whole situation. It's like she's here to stay. She's not going anywhere.
Right.
So you're gonna have to make her at some point, right?
Right.
It's just I'm assuming, that they're probably gonna wait for the big movie. You know what I mean? Because clearly now nobody cares about her.
I'm just surprised because I think she was probably the best part of that Marvels movie. And her show was actually not that bad. Again, it started with like this teeny thing where you're like, it's a little for young adult. And then it like by the third episode, it went into a totally different direction where you're like, oh, okay, it's pretty good.
The Thor, welcome, my friend.
No, that's only saved for streams that Mike shows up on. Mike has that honor.
He says, I'm no Nostradamus, but see a Jazz Inc. in our rant in the near future or just tonight again. Oh my God. The Thor, don't be so negative, okay? My in-art rants and my Jazz Inc. rants are very helpful to the community, so they don't go spending their money or wasting their money on things that are unnecessary. No, I'm just kidding. I would never buy all Jazz Inc. products, guys. We got tragedy. We got Tragedy Tales in the house. He's on fire. Look at that. 2 for 2. Welcome. See you. Welcome back. Tuli says, hangs out with the 160 community being a pest. Did you just call me out? Oh man, it's great. Actually, like Miss Marvel, that actress was perfect for her. I would absolutely pay. Yeah, so would I. That's the thing. I don't understand. I expected her to come out from her show. The fact that she's, it was her intro show. So I was like, oh, this is a must.
Right?
She's obviously going to look different on that show than she would. Even before the movie was out, I figured, all right, we're going to get her from her origins version. We're going to get her from the next movie, which was the Marvels. 2 different looks. Why wouldn't they make that money? Like I said, there's Nathan who would buy her. I would definitely buy her. And it's not just...
I would get her.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not just us that would get her. A lot of people would get her. It doesn't mean that and this is just for me. You guys know that I don't need to like a show to buy anything. I don't need to love the character to buy anything. It just completes lines, right? So if you're a Marvel fan and you're a Marvel collector, and they make her, can you really call yourself a Marvel collector or a Marvel fan if you don't get her? Yeah, you could say, oh, her storyline was not good, but if you come from the comics, that's a different story. You know what I mean? It's just appealing to have that character next to Miss Marvel. We don't know if they're going to make Monica at any point, which eventually they should as well, I'm assuming. Right? So that's where I'm at with that. They should have made her, or at least make her limited. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're totally right. Because we talked about this too. I buy pretty much all the Marvel stuff. And for me, even independent of the movies, like you look at the Sony verse when Morbius came out, right? First of all, he looked cool like a figure. And while the movie wasn't great, it's a character that we were going to get in cinematic format that we weren't going to get again. I wanted it in the Marvel collection, right? Anytime a new character gets released by Hot Toys, that adds to that kind of feel. The collection's almost grown independent of that whole, like, is the movie good or not? At this point, where you're just trying to create like a cinematic version of the Marvel universe, right? And that's the appeal. So I'm surprised too that they never made her. I'm surprised Namor. I keep telling you that Namor, that nobody in third party even tried to do him. Like that's surprising.
So you think that because nobody bothered to make her, Hot Toys like, nah, we're not gonna bother either?
I don't think that's the case.
Oh, okay,
usually,
okay.
I think third party would usually step in to fill in those voids. Like, but look at years later, we're getting, what was the figure from Ant-Man and the Wasp? Ghost, right?
Ghost?
Flashpoint. I think Flashpoint is making her, or one of these third party companies. So it's been years since that movie came out, and we're finally getting her. So third party usually steps in to fill in some of those voids, and I'm just surprised they haven't done a Miss Marvel or a Namor at this point.
A question, now that we're talking about Ant-Man, just a random question that I just thought about. Do you think since in the last Ant-Man movie we saw Yellow Jacket, do you think that they're going to use that eventually to make that figure ever? Because remember they teased it when the first Ant-Man movie, and they just never made it. Do you think eventually they will come out with that figure? I think they will.
I think if there's ever a moment to do it, it's this period of time that we're in.
Correct.
That announcement that they had with the black and gold chrome Iron Man, right? Where they said we're gonna go in and do a lot of figures. Obviously, everybody's expecting Deadpool and Wolverine, but I wonder if they're gonna go back now with no other Marvel products and say, let's revisit some of these and do a limited run of some of these characters. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna be, this is like the perfect setting for it.
And because the Ant-Man movies are still kind of fresh.
Right.
Strategy Tale says my black suit Spidey arrives tomorrow, technically today. Pretty high for it. Yes, mine shipped from Pop Collectibles. I feel like 3-4 days ago, so it should be here today, tomorrow or the next day. And I know he shipped it FedEx because I paid the extra $70 something dollars for the FedEx. So it should be.
God bless, man. That's expensive. That's an expensive figure for you.
Well, so it was the 300 and change. It was completely paid off, plus $70 shipping, and then because I switched it from second batch to first batch, he added an extra charge, so I had to pay an extra $125 or something like that to be able to get the figure shipped immediately instead of waiting 2 months for it. Imagine that.
That's a lot.
But I'm glad that he was able to do it. No, I'm glad that he was able to do it. I mean, obviously he made that money, so it wasn't like
right.
any type of favor, right? It benefited him, if anything. But it's just he could have easily given me a hard time, and I'm glad he didn't because I didn't want to deal with that, And I'm going to give him a shout out when I get my figure. I'm going to put it on my story, so he knows that, so at least he doesn't think that I have an issue with him or anything like that, because that's what I felt like he thought, and like for no reason, Eric says that. Oh, that's not for me. Chris, how are you, my friend? Welcome. For being here, my friend. Welcome. What are you laughing?
Sorry, I'm laughing at Joker's last comment already.
We got Albert in the house. How are you? Welcome. Guillermo in the house. Welcome, my friend. Long time. I feel like you haven't been here in a little bit. Nice to see you. Welcome. God bless equals. Equals. All right, guys. So let's get started. So first and foremost, we have this black and gold Iron Man already shipping in Hong Kong. I actually didn't even know that it was one of those releases that was ready to go. Well, it is. Sideshow has them, obviously, or had them, right? We went on the queue for them. $440. What I ended up doing today, when I realized that it was going to come out, pretty soon, within the next few weeks, this is shipping. So what I ended up doing was I turned it into a payment plan. I made it into a 2-payment plan. I made the first payment, so now all I owe is $290 left over, which was, I think, very smart, because we're going to get bombarded with a bunch of figures coming out of left field in the near future, so it was a must for me. I did that. I made a payment for this figure. I made a payment for the Mark 6 with the gantry. I made 2 payments for the 3 Praetorian guards that are coming soon, because I had to order 3 from Sideshow. So I've been making those, those small payments here and there. Well, not small payments, like half payments here and there, because I know that once they start releasing like they did with the last batch, one after the other last year, this can happen again this year. And to avoid having an issue, I'm making these payments. So now, Rudy, because of the fact that you don't really collect much Hot Toys. No, I have to be very specific because we know you're the third party guy. So we know.
No, I collect Hot Toys. I just collect Marvel Hot Toys. Why you gotta go there? Why you gotta give me a hard time?
This guy's like, wait. No, I collect, guys. No, so being a Marvel, you're actually a big Marvel collector.
Yeah.
So being a Marvel collector and choosing to be a peasant on this specific figure, how does that make you feel now that it's ready to ship? It looks beautiful in some of the shots, the lighting, the reflection of how the shine comes off of the the gold chrome, and some of the areas of the black chrome. Look how sexy that is. So how do you feel? How do you feel right now, being probably the only one not having this figure in your?
Yikes.
Look, it's beautiful, right? It's a beautiful thing. No, I have to. This is responsible collecting. right?
He said this is responsible collecting.
I had to look at things. It's gorgeous, but I didn't need it, right? It's not. I can look at this. I'm gonna look at yours when you drop your video, right?
No. You're getting blocked when I post. Stop it.
What do you mean you're gonna block me? There's no way.
That's what happens when you're pre-order like a peasant.
Terrible. It's terrible. No, it looks great. It looks great, but again, yeah, do I regret passing on it? I regret it a little bit, right? The collector in me looks at this and it's a beautiful figure, but at the same time, right, the reasonable part of me is like, no. You got like 30 other pre-orders coming in. We're about to get bombarded. Did you really need this? And the answer is no.
That's why I made the payments,
right?
Because of that reason. Go ahead.
And the answer for me is just in Marvel alone, right? Remember that snapshot we got from Hot Toys with all those Marvel figures, with the exception of the Open Armor one. I'm getting all of them, so there's a ton that's going to start coming my way at this point. I don't even know what right. We've got the Deadpool and the Logan tees coming in, so I'm probably going to PO those when they drop. So, and like you said, yes, I do have other companies. Other licensed companies too that I'm ordering from. So, like Jazz Inc. It depends on this prototype, right? But I've got other things in the queue waiting for me. So I just, it's beautiful, but it doesn't really feel.
So realistically, honestly, within yourself, you really don't care for the figure, right? Like you're okay not missing out on the figure.
There's a little regret, but not much. There's a little bit in, like in every, I think all of us as collectors see a piece and we're like, damn, that's really nice. That would have been
not me, because I get it, but go ahead.
Because you, well, you get two of everything. That's the problem.
No. Those days are gone. Absolutely not. Axel, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Thank you for being my friend. Yeah, no, those days are long gone. The two, it's got to be like, you know what I mean? Like it's something that like, it's really worth it, and it's got to be something that looks completely different with an alternate look. You know what I mean? Like it's not just gonna be like for example, I would never get a black and gold, the second black and gold, just to put a Tony Stark head on it. You know what I mean? Like I would never, but I would use this one for that. Like I would buy a Tony Stark head to put on there just to have him holding the helmet, because it that looked beautiful. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't get two of these. Absolutely not. There's really no need for it. For me at least whatsoever. Chris says this color combo is pretty cool. Nice. Collect responsibly. Exactly. Man. I passed on this. I'm really tempted, but I was
exactly.
Well, there you go. That's what.
See, Mad Planet's on the same page. We're seeing eye to eye.
You can't have everything. Where would you put it? Let me. Where would you put it? All right, so Rudy, what do you like about this figure? Actually, very good question. I'm going to assume you own Iron Man right now, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite Iron Man in your collection right now?
Right now?
Right now.
Ooh. I think it's got to be the Mark III.
The new one? What do you call it? The 2.0?
The new one. Yeah.
The 2.0. All right. So now
that's a beautiful figure.
Now seeing that, right? So that's your favorite, right? Obviously, this is a completely different suit, still die cast, so very similar, but not, a different suit. Now, what do you like and dislike about this specific figure, specific suit in general?
No, I mean the color combo. Look at it. The color combo is great, and the Mark VII, right, is one of those suits everybody loved. Right, I like the Mark III because it was that iconic first movie like hero suit, right? But the Mark VII, the Mark VI, and the Mark VII are awesome pieces, right? And this one it's something that I think everybody always gravitates to whenever they do the 2.0 or something. Everybody always wants to get this one, right? Yep. So I like the suit that they used, and the color combo looks great. For me, the only negative, I mean that's what's beautiful, right? The gold and the black really pops. And then other than that, it's the Mark VII, which is a great suit. But what I don't like about it, again, it's not a movie suit, right? In that sense, it's just a repaint. It's not something we saw on screen.
Well, that's a good point you bring up too, because think about it. We're not going to keep getting original classic 1 through 7 all the time, especially now that they're all done, right? We got the one,
We got the announcement, right? Yeah, they were like, we're done now, kind
right,
of.
correct. So now everything we're gonna be getting, think about it. It has to be only repaints. They're not gonna come out with a new suit. We know that the last one was what 85.
Right.
We got a battle damage 85. We got a regular 85. We got a regular 50. So it's going to be a rotation of repaints from one, which you can't really do a repaint on one if you think about it. But you got Mark II, Mark III, Mark IV. Mark II is the least, used for repaints because
it's just basically a silver. That it is a repaint.
Correct.
It's a different paint scheme in itself, right?
And it's the most basic one because it's the very first update, from the Mark One.
Right.
So it's very basic at that. So like you mentioned, 6 and 7 are the most advanced ones, the better looking ones, at least for me, right? I love 6 and 7. I love 5 because of the suitcase, right? But 6 and 7 are again the most popular. 6 for the triangular arc reactor, 7 because of the fact that it was that pod suit and the way that it transformed on top of him and all that stuff. So they're iconic suits, right? It's just what can we possibly be getting with them all the time? Nothing but repaints, period.
See, and yes, you've got a good point. Like we're gonna, I'm sure this is the first of many repaints we're gonna get, right, for all those suits. But what I like that Hot Toys is doing is they're also giving us some different like versions of the suits, like the Mark VI that's coming up with the gantry, right? That's a beautiful piece. I had to order that because that looks. First of all, it's a different sculpt that we've gotten from Tony Stark. It's the Mark VI, and that gantry is going to be massive, right? So it's going to be a centerpiece to any collection at that point. Then look at what they did with the Mark VII, the suit up Mark VII that we're getting too. With it's a Tony Stark figure with the Mark VII deploying around him, right? I like that, and I also like, even though I haven't ordered it, and I don't know if I'm going to get it. What the Mark 6 that opens up, or the Mark 7 that opens up, right?
Right.
We just saw the statue piece. So I think we're going to see repaints, but I also think Hot Toys is going to continue doing kind of these suit up things. Like we saw it with the Mark 5, right? That release, which I still have to get actually. And I'm still waiting for it to go on like a deal to get it. But
Which Mark 5? Which Mark 5? The last one with that track, with the racetrack.
Yep.
The special one, the last one's okay. Yeah, no, I didn't even bother with that. I want it though, but it's like I already have 4 diecast Mark 5s, and I have obviously the plastic. I have 2 plastic ones,
right.
And I believe I have 1 or 2 sealed. So I'm like, do I really need another one just for the racetrack? So I'm like, I can wait for that. So that's the only reason why I haven't got it.
See, for me, I'm waiting for that one to go on sale because it's been on stock forever at Sideshow, and it's not low stock warning. So I'm waiting for a sale on that one to get it. But I would rather get that piece and all these other suit-up pieces that they're doing as opposed to another repaint, right? I'd rather put my money to something that we saw on screen than something like this.
Carter said, here's my hot take. Unless it's a unique MCU Iron Man suit that played a big part of the movies, I don't want it. Mark 85 battle damage is the best. No, that's the thing. You know what I mean? It comes down to that. A lot of people are purists when it comes to, the 1 through 7 suits on Iron Man, right? So people just like those first 7. They don't, they like the classic look, which is, the original paint application on them, the red and whatever tone of red, or the red and gold, or whatever, the red and gray and silver, whatever it is. But they like the original looks of the suits because they're in the movies, and that's it. When it comes to variants, a lot of people are like, that's not for, just like you said, it's not from anywhere. You're right, this is not from a movie, it's a repaint, even though the suit obviously is from a movie, which is where they get to label it that, right? Avengers, this is where the Mark 7 appeared. A lot of people don't like to get repaints. You guys know that I love repaints. I love variants of everything, just to give the figure a completely different look by just painting it. Beautiful.
What was the suit from Spider-Man Homecoming?
40.
Was that the 43 or the
43, I believe.
Right, that I love that figure. Actually, that one was another one that
suit. It's a very classic.
Right, it's the red with the silver,
A lot of
And
silver.
I remember I got it before when it was originally put up for order, and it was worth a ton of money in the secondary market. And then Hot Toys came out with the re-release because everybody wanted that suit. But that's the kind of thing I'd like to get, right? The primary suits that he wears on the
Right.
in the movies. And even though that was a glorified cameo that showed up a couple of times, right? It was still a really good looking suit, and I love having that one.
But the
Just
7?
because it's another standard. The 40 the 42,
Oh, the
one
43. No,
from
that
that was
that
a 43. Yeah, that's a great one.
and it's funny because Mike and I talk about this all the time. Nobody wanted that suit because it was so
Yeah.
different. It was like random. Like it was literally another repaint too. It was just
Yeah, because it's red with silver, and that was
Right.
it.
right. So everybody was like, nah. I bought 3 of those, sold one, and then I bought 2 of the reissues. I displayed one, so I have like all 3 looks out of the suit, and I still got a spare one somewhere. Imagine that.
Right.
Big Rib, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
doing?
Being here, you made it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I would not be surprised if Howard starts on a diecast house party pro. So that is a great point. The problem is, if that were the case, he wouldn't be wasting time on figures like this. You know why? Because this is not part of the house party protocol. He could have, instead of this, he could have made a Python, and that would have led me to believe that, which is why when this was announced, I took pictures of my Python the same day, thinking, "Oh, this is probably a Python." And then when I looked into it, it wasn't. It was just a Mark 7, with another paint application called gold, black and gold. So it had nothing to do with the house party protocol. It would be very smart for him to make every single one in diecast. The problem is, some were already made in diecast, like the Hot Rod was already made in diecast, and there were a couple others, I believe, that were made in diecast as well. So does it make sense for them to do that? No, not at this point. The fact that they were all mostly plastic and most of them were combinations of panels from, for example, the Heartbreaker, for example, was a combination of different pieces and different parts from different suits. So was Python. So was what was the other one? Stealth. So was Sub-Zero. Right? They were all a combination of different Iron Man together. So because of that, right? Because of that, I think they would have already started making them a long time ago. Right in between, they'd say, "All right, we just announced a Mark 1. All right, here's a tease of a, not even Midas, because Midas was already made. Let me give you one.
You know which one I would have liked for him to remake, although the
Bones.
plastic one's not bad.
Bones.
The Star Boost.
Star Boost is a very, very
That's
underrated.
a beautiful.
It's
yeah,
a very underrated figure. That is one of my. It's funny you mentioned that. It's one of my favorite house party protocol figures.
Yep.
I love how he looks like an astronaut type figure,
Right,
with the
right.
jetpack and the booster in the back.
The white, the chest has the
Absolutely.
little like ceramic plates
beautiful
on it. So it's a beautiful figure. And when you were talking about different plates, right? That's probably the most unique figure that came out of that one, and Igor, right? Because Igor's just a big one,
correct?
Right?
But Igor was another one that was just.
Those two are very unique figures,
right? So here's another point to that nightmare. Another Igor, a 1/6 scale Igor in diecast. How much do you think that would be? So that's the only reason why I don't think. Would it be smart for them to make that money? Of course. Would you buy every single one? You may, but is everybody gonna? You know what I mean? So they would be sitting on a lot of figures for many years, which I think that's why they would never bother. Giovanni in the house, welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. We got, let's see, the Thor says, "Hello, my name is," I go to rehab. Oh man, Iron 3, man. Movie sucked. A lot of people didn't like that either. That's another thing. A lot of people didn't
liked
like
it.
the movie.
I liked it. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was okay.
I want to tell you what my favorite part of that movie was: the house party protocol. When they all came out like that I was like, this is incredible. The storyline was a little blah, right? The whole extremist program thing, and how
you the one part that got me, because I remember I love the figure. It's one of my favorites. Is he up here? Yeah, he's sitting up in one of these things. It's the Oh my god, the actor,
Who?
the Mandarin, right?
Oh,
When
Sir, whatever Kingston or
Sir,
whatever.
right, Ben Kingsley, right? But
Ben
when
Kingsley.
that figure came out with the chair, with the glasses, right, with the big robe, I got it, right. It's the Mandarin, and when we saw that part in the movie where all of a sudden you realize he's an
Yeah.
actor, he's a fake, I was like, wait, what's going on
No,
here?
and and so a lot of people hated that figure because of that.
But
They
that's a
hate
great figure, right? It's a
no,
beautiful figure,
absolutely the figure is a 10. The detail
right?
is a 10. That chair, the posing that you could get out of
Oh
that
yeah,
figure, everything about it was great. The problem was that
he wasn't the Mandarin.
it wasn't the Mandarin. So you're like, what the hell is this? Like, why am I buying this? That wasn't the man. And this is where it becomes a problem for fans of these movies that need to be attached to the character,
Right.
because it's like now you have a great figure that you're not going to buy because it doesn't make you happy in the movie. What the hell are you talking
Well,
about?
well, the same thing happened with the Black Widow movie with who's the 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 killer guy. Oh my god, my brain is slipping tonight. I
From
don't know
who?
what
From who?
happened.
From what movie?
From the Black Widow movie, the not
Oh,
Yelena,
Ulysses Claw.
Taskmaster.
Oh, Taskmaster.
Right, that's another great figure actually. When you have it in hand, it's actually pretty really good. But
That's
again,
a great.
because it deviated
It's a
from the
woman.
character,
Correct.
everybody like hated on it. I think you could still get it for cheap. I don't think it's so
Absolutely.
bad at all. But
Absolutely. And
they're yeah, they're great figures.
no, I was gonna say, that was another figure that turned people off when she took off her helmet. They're like, "What the hell is this? This is not supposed to be a woman." And I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that it was a woman, right? I don't think that was the case. Like, oh, this is a woman. Like, this sucks. No, I think what happened was everybody, or at least nobody, expected it to be a woman. Since in the
Right.
comics, it's never been a woman, or at least as far as I know, that character's not supposed to be a woman.
Right, and I think one of the reasons I liked it, as much as I read comics, right? The comic world is so huge, you can't stick with like everything, right? You can't read absolutely everything. There's just no way. I never got. I think I might have seen Taskmaster in one comic, but I was never big into the character or a big fan. So when they did this reveal, to me, it was like, oh, it's a pretty interesting reveal that it's the guy's daughter. I'm like, okay, so I bought into that, but I can get how a fan of the comic sees their character totally changed and they get upset about it.
The Alchemist in the house. Welcome, my
I'm
friend.
doing.
You made it. So now, question for you, Rudy. If actually says Black Widow, not Black Panther. Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, I heard Black Panther when he said Black Widow, and I'm like, wait, what am I saying? This guy. Oh my god.
How dare you!
Let's see. Carter says same things with Shang-Chi, great looking figures, but the movie was, yep, that is true too. That is very true. The Thor, you thought right. Taskmaster was never a chick. There you go. So again, I don't know comics like that, but I can tell you from what I know of Taskmaster, I've never known him to be a female. So again, like I said, I don't think people didn't get her or didn't get the figure because it was a female. It was because they didn't feel the connection in the movie with the character being a female. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that. So Rudy, now 1 to 10, this figure,
I'll give it a 9, a solid 9.
and what are the chances of you picking it up from toysforkiddos.com since it's still available?
No. I got too much stuff coming in, man.
You said
Listen, there's just too much coming in. I know there's going to be pre-orders. I already saw pictures of a couple of things drop online, so I know I'm going to get invoices hitting me like either tomorrow or this week. So no way. Can't do it.
Next topic, very quickly, since there's not much to talk about in this. So as you can see, guys, we are getting the coming soon promo for the Wolverine and Deadpool figures. For those who watch my streams and for those who've been watching the past couple of streams, you remember that I said we're probably going to get 2 versions, just like the Thor, right? Since we already seen Wolverine with his arms exposed and his arms covered, right? It was a no-brainer to know that Hot Toys was going to come out with 2 SKUs, one like Thor, right, with the arms exposed, which is the deluxe, and then the arms covered, which is obviously the regular. So, Rudy, How excited are you for these? For the two SKUs, obviously, looks like one regular, one deluxe, and then number two, what do you think the differences are going to be?
Oh, this is going to be a day one pre-order for both, right? And both would be the deluxe easily. I don't even know what they're going to come with. I don't know what Deadpool deluxe is going to come with,
Mm.
so that'll be something interesting. I think you're right about the Wolverine. I think they're going to do the arms so you can swap them out. What's going to be interesting for me, and look, you've got that Thor figure in the background, right? I think he's got. Does he have like a replaceable chest plate or something? Because that's the only thing from the previews and the trailers when you
Who?
see Wolverine, the Thor figure you got. I don't know if he comes with a chest plate that you can swap out.
I think he does. I think he does
Right.
because
Because
he
that's
has an attachment to something here.
right. Because that's the only thing that I'm curious about with the swappable arms. Because if you look at the trailer, at least what we see of him in the trailers without the sleeves, he's also battle damaged, right? Like he is.
Yep.
The suit goes from being pristine with the sleeves on to being dirty. So I'm almost wondering, is that what we're gonna get, or and is Hot Toys just gonna give us like a semi-weathered version so you can kind of do both?
I think that's exactly what they
Right?
usually they usually tend to figures like that specifically. They don't tend to give you a full clean version because it wouldn't look good. So they
And
do
they don't give the full battle damage
correct,
either,
correct,
right?
correct. So they'll give you a mildly like weathered, beat up like suit with like few like scratches here and there, but
Right.
it won't look fully battle damage
Right.
at all. It
Right.
will look like if the suit is used up but not beat up, you know?
Right. But I think that's gonna be I think it's gonna be that. It's gonna be the arms,
Right.
right? I think that's gonna be one. And two, I think the way that we saw what they did with the Spider-Man No Way Home line, I think they're gonna throw in a diorama piece for something. It might not be a big one, but I think there's gonna be a base for
Well,
these.
they have to, and I think we're gonna get also some type of exclusive as well, right?
Right.
Maybe the deluxe exclusive might be an option. The only thing is, for an exclusive, we usually get an extra SKU for that. You know what I mean? So it doesn't look like we may get an exclusive. We can still get a deluxe exclusive, right? That could be
Well,
an
you don't know. Well, also, right when you what Sideshow's been doing on their websites now is if you click on the figure that has an exclusive and just a standard, it's still under that same window. So
Correct.
it could be that you could just click and select the exclusive version of it.
Correct.
But I think you're right. I think there's going to be something in there. It might be something they can't show us because I think these are
Right.
coming soon. I wouldn't be surprised if these drop like this week, and it's the typical box that they put in like we're going to show you later, right, to be revealed in the future, where they don't tell you what it is, but they put the figures up for pre-order.
Yep, probably because
then
they don't want to show you something. Yep.
And then if they were smart, Deadpool would have like a base or something that you could like link up together to create some kind of a nice diorama. I just don't know what else what he would come with other than an unmasked sculpt. The Deadpool dog, I think that could be a possibility, but 100%. I just don't know what else.
Yeah, that's the thing. We have to see the movie to kind of like guess. Right. You know what I mean? We got Chris in the house. Welcome, my friend. This is 38 of you guys in here. Please hit that like button if you don't mind. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here as well. Day one deluxe for both. Absolutely.
Yep. 100%.
These will sit. That's another thing. No, yeah, I'm telling you. This is anything Marvel at this point is going to sit. The only thing. Go ahead. Before
I agree with you. Typically, because even as a Marvel collector, I know this, right? I know that I'm an idiot for pre-ordering most of these because I can get them cheaper, but I want them. But I feel like there's actual hype for this movie, which I haven't felt for a Marvel movie in a while.
Well, because they expect it to be a blockbuster because of the fact that it's a big deal comic thing to have Deadpool and Wolverine together, right? So that alone is a big deal. Number two, you have Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine.
Right.
Number three, you have him with the most classic looking outfit yet. So it's a combination for a huge hit. The problem is Disney will figure out a way to ruin it one way or another. Going back to the SKUs that Carter's talking about. The reason why I feel like they're going to sit is because of this. Just like you and I, obviously we're going to order this day one to get them as soon as possible, to have them as soon as possible.
Right.
Just because we are that way, right? We know there are thousands of collectors out there who will wait for this thing to be buy one get one, or buy one get one free from Sideshow. The problem is already off the bat, you have two SKUs. They're not both going to sell out 1, 2, 3. That's number one, right? So something's going to sit. Depending on what the SKUs are going to be, right? That's what's going to make it more popular. Even though for whatever reason, sometimes I've been noticing that Sideshow will sell out their basic edition faster than their other edition.
Deluxe, yeah.
Well, whether it's deluxe, whether it's included, whatever it is, even when they're priced the same at the same price point, the standard one will always sell out first. Again, I don't understand how that is. I don't know if they make just less, just in general.
Like it makes sense when you're comparing it to a deluxe where somebody has to pay an extra. Like imagine the No Way Home figures, right? You were paying an extra $100 for the deluxe in a lot of those cases,
right?
So I think people would hesitate to buy that, and if you're on a more limited budget, the standard would be the more appealing of the figures, right? But I don't get what you're saying too about if it's at the same price point, you'd figure the deluxe
correct, and that's what
would
happened.
go in.
That's what happened, and I'm like, why would anybody not realize that you're spending the same amount of money? And it could be the fact that, well, I don't need this, I don't need a bigger box. I don't need, it could be all that, right?
Yeah.
Which obviously it's your money. It is what it is, right? Whatever you decide to do, nobody can tell you, why you're doing that, right? But it doesn't make sense to me. It's like, why would you just not get it? And God forbid, you need to sell the figure. Guess what? You have the deluxe already, which is going to give you more money back in the long run anyway. You know what I mean? So why would you not go that? And again, everybody's got their own ways of doing things. Right. I'm just talking in general. So that's why I never understood that. But Uncarded, I'm going with Uncarded because, again, not everybody's going to jump on it. Yes, it's a big deal. Yes, you're going to have tons of people going for it the same day. Day one pre-order, absolutely. But don't forget that just because we want it that bad doesn't mean everybody wants it that bad. And it doesn't mean that they're going to sell out that quickly because of the fact that, we want it that fast. And another thing, just because of the movie, and we've gotten big movies too, before this, just because of the movie, it doesn't mean that whether the movie's good or bad doesn't mean that the figure is going to do, that the figures are going to do good or bad, right? I don't need to see the movie to go buy these day one.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people don't need to see the movie. I think if anything, the movie will make people love the figures that much more, appreciate the figures that much more just because of the movie. But I don't think this movie specifically, will dictate if anybody's buying this or not.
Right.
Cassandra, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing.
You. Let's see. Deluxe, right? Yeah, you got to go deluxe. And that's the thing. We don't even know what the deluxe is, but we know we want it because we know it's going to be the better one, Deadpool with mask off. I think that's a possibility. For those who follow me on Instagram, you know that I always post things regarding on what I think is coming. And today I posted both Deadpools with no mask on. So they're both their faces. I think it's about time for Hot Toys.
Yeah.
To make a head sculpt for Deadpool. We've gotten 2 Deadpools already, Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, and we got the gray Deadpool, none of them with a single head sculpt. Like I said, it's about time. Also, we have the head sculpt with the wig, with the blonde wig that he wears in the movie. That's a possibility. I think, if anything, that should be definitely included in there. I don't know if that should be an exclusive type thing, but definitely the head sculpt would be fun. And if that's the case, if they decide to add that head sculpt with the hair, it'll definitely make people want to buy multiples and at least 2 to have one with the mask on and one with that head sculpt. How would you buy? How many would you buy if they gave you a head sculpt?
Oh, I'd probably still buy the one, just the
one?
deluxe. Yeah, because I think I'd want to show them with the mask. While I like the sculpt, I think I could, if anything, I might try to do a custom to use that sculpt, right? To wait for like a Topo or somebody to do, like a civilian clothes version that you could put that sculpt on. But I'd want to, I don't think I'd use both, or I'd buy 2 figures just to get that sculpt on.
Guys, it's 43 of you guys in here. Hit that like button if you don't mind, please. So I appreciate you guys for being here and thank you. The Alchemist says, dang, I didn't even know we're getting figures from Deadpool 3. Absolutely. Absolutely. Artisan Deadpool.
No hair.
We got Anthony in the house. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing.
Go channel member in the house. Look at you guys. Actually, if they do a limited edition Wolverine and Deadpool, it comes with the friendship pendant. Well, that's
You know what? They could do that. They could totally do that, and that would be an easy pass.
Let me tell you something. Can they do a limited figure from this? Yes. Does it make sense? No. If you guys notice, they haven't done much Marvel limited anything besides Scarlet Witch for the Artisan, right? They don't really do DXs for Marvel, as we've seen. Again, what was the very first DX? I believe was Scarlet Witch as well. So they're not doing, it's not something common that they do for Marvel. Another reason why I feel like they sit longer, because there's nothing really special to them ever. So
well, they did do timed exclusives for the Thor figure, the Mighty Thor, the Jane Foster. I forget I think it was the broken mask.
Right, but
helmet. That was a timed, and that's what. But I think that's what Big Dog Pound was saying. He's like, do you think they would do a timed exclusive where the little exclusive piece would be the friendship
I see
bracelet?
What you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
they could, but I wouldn't.
Of course they could, but I don't think so. I not for that. Not for that. You know what I mean? If it was something more meaningful, something bigger, maybe, but not for something that small. I don't think so. You know what I mean? I don't think so at all. Nefty, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
I'm doing.
Let's see what you guys are saying. We go to the next topic. We got 03 Mills in the house. Welcome, my friend.
I'm doing.
Welcome. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you don't mind, please. Howie Chan, please give us Taylor Swift Deadpool. This guy. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here, this is for you. This is for you just because
I don't think so.
No, don't lie. You're gonna get two.
I'll get
You're gonna need the one that's masked and the one that has the full Taylor Swift artisan hair and everything.
I'll get 3, and then I'll have Luch body swap one for me to make her a little thicker. Ernesto says, I think Taylor Swift has been confirmed not being in the movie. Fake news. Yeah, so I heard that she said she was not in it. I heard that X23 was not in it. And you never know, because they'll appear and be like, oh, they lied. And they always lie on the previews. They always lie on the trailers. They don't ever show you everything. And just to create that hype. So when you show up in the movie and watch a movie, you go, oh my God, there she is. And remember that
it was Andrew Garfield. He did that for Spider-Man No Way Home. Up to
exactly.
The premiere, remember?
Exactly.
I'm not in it. No, I'm not in it.
Oh, nobody told me nothing. I wish I would have been in it. Yeah, exactly.
What was the funny thing? Who is that pundit that always doing John Campia? He's always doing like movie stuff. Mm-hmm. He had the blow up pictures and he was like circling people's crotches saying, look, this looks like Andrew Garfield. And everybody's like, what are you doing, man? He was right though.
Leo says, I'm waiting till low stock. This guy, unbelievable. Can you imagine being that ballsy?
Listen, I've done that. I've done that too.
I could never. It's either pre-order or wait until it's completely out. Like I don't do in betweens. You know,
I haven't done that in a while. I was trying to play a game like with myself, being like, I don't have to order unless it goes low stock, and then everything started going low stock. So.
And also, guys, let me catch up with you guys real quickly because we're going right into our last topic before we get out of here. And then obviously we're going to continue this because we're in a rush because we got the show coming on. Right. But we got a lot to talk about. And like I said, we'll continue either Thursday or tomorrow or whenever we get some more action. But there's a lot to talk about, guys. Let me see. Jevin says, I more than not go for standard version. There you go, because usually the low stuff is going to, there you go. So that makes sense. So I understand that, right? I get it. But it's like, if it's the same price, like why not? You know, it's just a no-brainer. You're getting more for the same price. So to me, it's just logic. You know what I mean? It's like, why would I not get the extra stuff for the same price? It might as well be free. You know what I mean? So that's why I always go that way. But I understand why people don't. I'm not saying that everybody should. It's just, it makes sense to me, you know? Giovanni Sideshow Collectibles is going to order extra stock because they're counting on the movie being a big hit, just like Endgame. And so that is true. That is 100% true as well. They'll expect a hit because the movie is supposed to be a hit just from the title alone. Deadpool and Wolverine, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Again, the three things that I mentioned earlier, that's why that movie's expected to be a hit. So they're going to order a ton expecting people to not order a ton. They're going to make a ton expecting people to order. But again, this is not going to be anything any different than any other Marvel release unless they decide to limit the amount that they're making. But if you know that once they're out, they're still sitting for months and months and months, either a bunch of people pre-ordered that didn't get it, or they just made a ton expecting a ton of orders that just happened to sit.
I think if anything, you're going to see what happened with the Pattinson Batman figure, where Sideshow, remember, it kept going on waitlist, and then I think there was enough demand where they ordered more from Hot Toys. So I think that's what you would see with these. If these are a big hit, Sideshow's still not going to take a chance, right? They're going to order a batch. If they see a lot of people going on waitlist, then you're going to see a ton of conversions because they're going to order more from Hot Toys and do that until they hit a point where people just aren't ordering anymore.
Yeah, Michael, welcome. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing.
You just brought up, Rudy, was the conversions. A lot of people right now are getting conversions for things that, like, we thought were sold out for months.
Old, yeah, I saw that too. Right. Old figures.
A bunch of people are getting notifications that they're able to get their waitlisted figures again from months ago. That on Sideshow it says waitlisted or sold out or gone or whatever.
I saw somebody got a Peacemaker too, which is insane. That figure's been gone forever.
So it's a possibility that the wait list. All right, everything's waitlisted, but it may be a hold up to, number one, get a certain amount of figures, of extra figures being sent to them by Hot Toys, maybe, right? And that's what they're allowing. They're converting people's wait lists. Again, it makes no sense if we're thinking and expecting that this whole waitlist thing by Sideshow, it's a real thing, right? And it seems to be a real thing. It's not happening, right? These conversions are not happening to everybody or with every figure, but the fact that it's happening, period, is like, wait a minute, why is this happening to begin with? What were you saying, Rudy?
No, I just said right. I was agreeing with you. It's bizarre.
Let's see what else. All right, so guys, hi, I said hello. Welcome. So our next topic, guys, we got some Jazz Inc. action. So it looks like Jazz Inc. Is going to be getting into Linda Carter. From what I understand, he said that it's not 100% definite yet because she does not give her likeness too often. So I'm assuming that his relationship with Linda Carter is not as close as Michelle Pfeiffer, since Michelle Pfeiffer, texted him and said, "Hey, man, you can have my likeness, of course." So I don't know why Linda Carter is playing hard to get with her likeness. But if he decides to make this figure, guys, I mean, not that I would be excited for it, coming from Jazz Inc., right? But if somebody were to ever make this figure, obviously Hot Toys would be the best choice. This figure would be an instant classic, an instant hit, right? This Lou Ferrigno's Hulk, figures from back then that nobody ever touched, that Flash that Social Toys is making, right? If Hot Toys made something like that, would be incredible. Rudy, how excited are you for something like this if Jazz Inc. makes it, or just in general, if anybody makes it?
For me, this is just a little before my time. So I think, I didn't grow up watching this.
How old are you, Rudy?
I'm 41.
Wait, so how is this before your time? And I was watching in Colombia as a kid too. And I'm 41.
Dude, I'll tell you, I used to gravitate towards the less popular stuff. Like, how everybody was watching Knight Rider?
Like Star Trek.
Well, yeah, that too. But no. But you remember what on Saturdays it was the trio. It was A-Team, Knight Rider, and everybody loved those. And you know which one my favorite was? Airwolf.
I loved Airwolf.
I thought Airwolf was the best one, man. That helicopter was the best.
That theme song was the best theme song of every single 80s show ever.
Exactly. So I used to gravitate towards those. I got to be honest. And my dad, when he got home from work, he used to be the one that controlled the remote, so that's what we would watch. And then for anybody that's Spanish, you would watch then be have to deal with 8 hours of Sábado Gigante,
Oh my,
right? So I didn't get to watch this. So for me, it's not something that I grew up with,
don't be
in that sense.
disrespectful to Don Francisco, okay? So how do you? So tell me about the figure, right? So how do you think? Let's say in the perfect world, Linda says, "Hey, Yos, you're my homie. Take my likeness," right? What do you expect for this from this?
It's the same thing though. I don't know what to expect from him because I see all these little previews he's putting up on the Catwoman. I need to see a full figure from him. That was it. I need to see a full figure, and then we'll make a decision. Because right now it's all these renders. I mean, listen, I know I can't make a rendering, but you see a ton of renders from third-party companies where the sculpts look great, and then you see the figure, and it's like, yeah, I'm old. What can I say? I'm falling apart already a little bit. But yeah, I can't judge off a rendering. Who knows what he's gonna do?
Bob has a really great request here. He says, "Well,
Hogan
random shit. Let's do Hulk Hogan and Suburban Commando."
if we're gonna do that, what is it? Do Baywatch?
Yes, Mitch. What was his name?
Oh, I don't remember. But you
Mitch,
remember? Didn't they do what was it? Baywatch Nights afterwards? where
yeah,
they were like,
it was horrible. It was horrible. Wasn't that taking place in like Miami or something?
No, it was like after their day job, they would go hunting. Were they hunting vampires or something? It was something wacky.
No,
Something bizarre.
they were like detectives, like at night.
Oh, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Because that happened on the in the New Rock Baywatch. They were like detectives at night. Like it was weird. Ernesto says 41. We called them Chavorrucos. What the hell is that? Chavorrucos.
I don't know. I don't like the way it sounds.
I expect big wonder cans. This guy, unbelievable. That eagle got big wings. Oh my god, you guys are nuts. I really want someone to do an updated Christmas. Yes. I think Hot Toys will come out with that left field very, very soon, believe it or not. I think it's about time for Hot Toys to come out with another Superman. Again, there's no reason to, right? There's no celebration or anything. Hopefully there is something coming up regarding Christopher Reeves, because that's when we'll get something, hopefully.
I'm just laughing because I don't want to bring up the other company that's supposedly making it either.
Making who?
Making the Christopher Reeve Superman. I don't want you going on a rant.
J&D.
No, InArt's doing it.
No, but that was old. That was like they announced that over a year ago.
Well, they're still working on it. No, they're still working on it.
It was on the list that they had, right?
Yeah, and they showed the prototype, and everybody said it wasn't good enough. So,
yeah, no, I'm telling you, you can't expect much. And like I said, the fact that they already canceled the Black Adam figure tells you everything you need to know about where they're going. So all right, so if they decide to make it, right? If Jazz Inc. decides to make this, give me a 1 to 10 of what you would think it would come out to be.
Right now it's a 0.
0.
Because I don't know. Look, he's talking up a big game. We haven't seen anything from him yet. We've seen a hand. We've seen some material for the thing, for the body, right? For the suit. He hasn't shown anything yet that we can really get excited about. I see. Listen, and that's me. So I could be wrong. I know a lot of people, if you look at the comments on his posts, are extremely excited when they see the hands or the materials. They're like, oh, this is great. I'll be excited when I see him show me a full figure with all the accessories it's coming with. Until that point, renderings. You added.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
You jumped into.
Wait, I don't know what's happening.
There you go.
Woo! You became Darth Vader for a second.
I was like, what's going on there?
So go ahead.
Yeah, but I won't be excited until I actually see a full figure that he's ready to put up for pre-order, and then I'll see what it looks like.
Yeah, InArt is coming. Talked about it. Someone should make a 1/6 Chuck. Yes, it's Chuck. Oh, I would buy.
That was the best part of that show.
I don't know. Iron Studios. made del Chapulín. Did you see that?
I saw that. Yeah, the
Oh, I want
entire
one
set.
so bad. I didn't even know they existed. I would have bought one so bad
Yeah, but
years
those
ago.
are statues. That's the problem.
Yeah,
right?
no, but I would have definitely bought one too. Carter says they showed a product sample for 89 Batman looks. Oh, I have it on Carter. It's coming. What the hell just happened? All right, so now also Jazz Inc. is teasing that they're going to be making Poison Ivy. As you can see, Uma Thurman from back then from the Batman and Robin movie. So also, Rudy, what would you expect? Would you expect something good? Do you expect it to be great? Do you expect anything near Hot Toys? Or do you think that they'll be able to stand on their own being, another company just making figures and people are just going to be like, okay, like let's try this.
Let's get them through the first figure. Let's get them through the Catwoman. That's going to determine everything, right? Because right now everything else he's got a list of things, right? That he's showing. Let's see how his first figure turns out. If that one turns out well, all right, but I don't know what it's going to be, right? What's going to be well for him? He's obviously targeting a certain price point, and that price point is also going to determine what we compare him against.
And another thing, guys, if you don't pay attention, if you're not noticing, it looks like he's making figures, female figures at that, with skin tight suits. Okay, so you have now Catwoman. This one also wears a skin tight suit, right? Obviously not so glossy and not so, it's not going to pop as much as that black suit will.
It's a little more fabric-y, which
correct, and it's
will
not
give him some flexibility.
Right, it's not going to be so hard to match, right? It's going to have some type of floral design, some type of, you know what I mean? So that's going to be a little bit different than the Catwoman, but the Catwoman being the fact that it's such an iconic suit.
Right.
You can't mess that up. And I feel like that's where the most of the mess up's going to be. And another thing is the scale. I think the scale has to be very, very important. It has to be on point. They have to make sure that scale of that figure, that Catwoman figure, is perfect, because everybody's going to put it right next to their Batman Returns figure or whatever other figure that they want, whether it's regular Batman, 89 Batman, or Batman Returns. Those figures have to have the perfect scale, and you can mess that up real quickly. These female bodies at that, are usually very, very thin. Again, depending on what company you use, depending on what style of female body you're deciding on using. So a lot of things are going to affect the way that the figure looks overall. And that's why it's not easy. It's not easy to make these figures, right? It's easy for you to have the canvas already pre-made by Hot Toys, and then you coming in and saying, "Oh, let me body swap this for this, and look how much better my figure is," right? That's very simple, but nobody's willing to do that from scratch and make their own figure from scratch. They're just ready to tear it down, ready to talk shit on the figure, but never give really credit on the actual work that goes into the figure. Rudy, what are the chances of them actually making these figures, in your opinion? Like,
it's all gonna hinge on Catwoman, right? If he kills it and knocks it out of the park, it's gonna set the tone for everything, right? And I think people are gonna have a high expectation of his product. If he does something that's passable, right? Right now, what's on the market? It's Eternals toys, right? Maybe Mars toys, and yes, Kindergarten Cop. I would totally buy that figure. And I know you're laughing at it. I would totally buy that Arnold figure.
Rudy, I'll make you
Come
one.
on.
I'll make you one. Okay? You know what you need? Need Terminator Noir's head, a suit, a body, and there's
because remember in the club scene he's got the 5 o'clock shadow, he's got the sunglasses, he's got
but
the
that's
big
not
trench coat.
Now you're going like deep into the movie. I'm talking about like when he's a teacher.
like with the suit.
When he's a teacher. Like, that's all you need. I'll make you that. I'll charge you $350 for that figure, okay? I'll charge you $350.
You're taking advantage of my nefty money here, like buying in art stuff.
Nefty. We got Brad in the house. Welcome, my friend. We're not doing in-art tonight. We're doing Jazz Inc., your second peasant company.
But yeah, I think look, how far he goes, again, ultimately he's got to hit the first one out of the park.
Right. So
if he doesn't do that,
right. It all comes down to that first figure, because it'll make us want more if it's good. It'll make us excited for the next one. And like Carter said, last but not least, we have the Batman. So Jazz Inc., this is it says early sneak peek at the official Jazzing Batman that they're working. Apparently, this is from Sean Dabbs. It looks like. I can tell you this. I'm not gonna bash it because I'm not a mean person, but I'm gonna show you guys real quickly the video so you guys could get the angles and all that stuff that's going on, so you have an idea of what this is going to be or what this is. So it looks like they're working on a 89 Batman. As you can see what it looks like right now, it's not great by any means. I don't know if this is supposed to be the figure that goes into the vehicle and just
It
sits
is, I
there.
think.
Okay, so again, if this is what this is supposed to be, then it is what it is, right? Don't expect anything anywhere near Hot Toys' quality. Don't expect anywhere near Hot Toys, period, because it's not going to be that. It's not anywhere near that. This is supposed to be, if this is what it is, it's supposed to be a statue, power pose style figure going inside the cockpit of the 1989 Batmobile, which, it's a smart idea, right? Something smart that they're doing. If you want to have a figure displayed within the cockpit of the figure. Again, no complaints with that aspect of that, right? Being making figures for the vehicles, but it's like, is it really worth it? Right? Is it really worth it? How much time and money can you possibly put into a figure that is going to be sitting in a cockpit, whether you close the cockpit or leave it open, right? If you leave it open, you risk of getting it all full of dust, whatever, however you have your setup, dust is going to get in there no matter what. Number two, if it's closed, how are you really appreciating it, right? So are you really, as the company, right, Jazz Inc., are they really spending a lot of time and money going into this, knowing that this is going to be sitting in a car doing absolutely nothing? Rudy, what do you think?
Look, I think it looks like Hot Toys quality right now, to be honest.
How?
And I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, I was gonna say, like,
You're gonna
what
ban me right there.
Oh no, I was gonna say, where are you seeing that? Because I'm like, it looks like somebody did that, with
No, this look, it looks simple. I mean, if it's just supposed to be a static piece that fits in your 89 cockpit, whether it's the Batwing or the car, maybe, but I mean, you're gonna get this to display it, right? So you're gonna get this if you're gonna display it with the hood open, because if you're gonna close it and nobody's ever gonna see this, then what's the point?
All right.
Right? There's only one way this thing works out, but yeah, not for me.
So
I'm not even getting the car, so it's definitely not for me at that point.
So that's the problem. You know what I mean? So that's my thing with that. It's just, I would never bother with this. Again, for those who are getting it, good luck. It's probably going to look very nice inside the vehicle. Again, but would you really want to spend that money, whether it's $175, $200 for a statue to just sit in the car? You know what I mean? How are you displaying your vehicle now? Is it going to make it that much better? Are you actually going to leave the cockpit open to enjoy this and stare at this 24/7? Who knows? Maybe you are, but to me, I would never bother with this. Again, not that it's anything wrong with it. I just would never spend money on stuff like that, because to me it's pointless. But it doesn't mean that people won't like this, people won't love this, because there are tons of people who will order this and be super happy, take pictures, and boast about it, that this is the best figure that has ever been made.
It's smart. It's smart if somebody has the 89 and they want to display it and they don't want to use a $300 figure, right, to put into this thing and kind of waste it. So in that sense, it's smart. So anybody that wants it, I think it's a good option for them, but definitely not something that I would be interested in.
And one last thing, guys, before we get out of here. Actually, no, that's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. So it looks like we have some potential. Well, this is what Black Series is making regarding the Acolyte figures. One little conversation I had backstage with Rudy was regarding following this Black Series thing. So my go-to immediately when he brought this up was, all right, let's go back to Andor and see what they made from Andor. They made a few figures from Andor, from the show Andor, right? Hot Toys made 0 from Andor. So just because we see this on the screen and Black Series is making this, does not mean Hot Toys is going anywhere near any of this, right? But if they decide to make anything, it'll most likely be any of these, right? But again, I'm going with, they're not making anything. If they didn't make it with Andor, who came from Rogue One, and was a big deal character because of Rogue One, they're not going to make these nobodies that come from nowhere and it's expecting what and expecting what the show's about to turn into even worse of an expectation of this. So, Rudy, what do you think?
Look, can they make it? We were talking about it. Hot Toys can surprise us, but are they going to make the Carrie-Anne Moss? She was in it for what, 5 seconds? I mean, there's just nothing there. Who the only character worth anything so far has been Soul. So, if anything, that would be one character that I could see them making. But I don't know how the show's going to develop. But everything else right now, who knows? Okay, here we go. Echo again. Echo. I think Fabs is getting everything ready for our view party.
Yes, I'm trying to put the link into the stream so you guys could join whenever the stream is over, but it's giving me that crazy echo, so I'm at the bottom of the table. Hold on.
Brad, don't get worried. Fabs is gonna get every figure from the I can't even talk.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. So I put the link in the chat. So there it is for those who want to join. Watch the Acolyte with us after the stream. We have a minute left. Rudy, anything else you need to say?
No, I think we're good. Let's go watch the end of Star Wars, apparently.
The end of Star Wars. All right, guys. So whoever wants to join, please join. We'll be waiting backstage. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.